Imagine dropping Shaquille O'Neal into today's NBA. Forget small ball, forget pace and space. Every single night would turn into a live episode of Man vs. Wild, except the prey would be 6'9" centers weighing 210 pounds. Shaq would foul out rosters, destroy analytics charts, and probably force Adam Silver to create a new position, human shield. But flip it. Imagine putting Steph Curry into the 1980s. The coaches would bench him for taking bad shots. The crowd would boo him for pulling up from 30 feet. And then, after his 7th straight 3 swishes, the league would collectively accuse him of witchcraft. The truth? A lot of NBA legends were born in the wrong timeline. Some were cheated by history, others blessed by it. Let's break it down. Wilt Chamberlain in today's NBA. Wilt Chamberlain is basketball's biggest what-if. In the 60s, he was so dominant, he averaged 50 points and 27 rebounds for a season. That's not basketball. That's a statistical fever dream. But here's the problem. Wilt played against part-time plumbers and mailmen. Half the guys guarding him were insurance salesmen on weekdays. Drop him in 2025? Oh, he'd still dominate, just differently. With today's nutrition, training, and pace, Wilt could be Giannis plus Jokic combined. But here's the twist. In the age of Twitter, every 12-point game would get him roasted. Imagine ESPN graphics comparing Wilt's 80-point night to Jokic's quiet triple-double and saying, but who's really more impactful? Wilt would thrive, but he'd also lose his mystery. And honestly, half his legend is that nobody saw his games live. Bill Russell in 2023. Now take Bill Russell, 11 rings in 13 seasons. The man was basically Thanos with a basketball. But here's the thing. Russell's stats don't scream superstar today. He averaged 15 points. That's it. Twitter would call him a glorified role player. Drop him in the modern NBA. He becomes Draymond Green 2.0, but taller, faster, smarter, and meaner. Switchable defense, elite rebounding, leadership that makes dynasties possible. Russell's not dropping 40, but he's anchoring championships. The problem is, modern fans would underrate him because he doesn't fill the box score. Larry Bird in 2025. Larry Bird was slow. He looked like a construction worker who accidentally wandered onto a court, but man could cook. 3-time MVP, 3-time champ, and the undisputed trash talk king. Bird once told a defender, "I'm going left, shooting from that spot, and you can't stop it." Then he actually did it. Now imagine him in 2025. People would laugh at his lack of athleticism until he casually drops 40 with step-back threes and impossible passes. Bird had the vision of Luka Doncic and the shooting of prime Dirk. With a mouth that never shut, he'd still be lethal, but instead of grainy 80s highlights, he'd be trending on Twitter every night for talking trash in HD. Allen Iverson in 2023. Allen Iverson was a cultural earthquake. He didn't just cross people over Shai Soraya, he crossed over the entire culture of basketball. Tattoos, braids, hip-hop swagger. AI made the NBA cool again. But his career? Cut short, plagued by injuries, bad rosters, and a league that hated his style. Drop him into 2023? He's not just a star, he's a viral god. Every crossover goes straight to TikTok. Every practice rant becomes a meme. He'd be Kyrie's handles plus Ja Morant's explosiveness plus 20 million Instagram followers. AI, in today's pace and space league, he's averaging 35 a night. And finally, the culture would celebrate him instead of trying to censor him. Shaquille O'Neal in the small ball era. Now Shaq. In the 2000s, he was a cheat code, 7'1", 325 pounds, unstoppable in the paint. Coaches had to invent Hack-a-Shaq because stopping him legally was impossible. Put him in today's NBA, where teams start 6'9" centers, he'd be banned by the Geneva Convention. The Warriors would try to put Draymond Green on him, and Shaq would retire him by halftime. Analytics nerds would cry about his free throw shooting, but it wouldn't matter. He'd average 40 and 20 in the playoffs. The only downside? In today's era of pace and space, Shaq might struggle guarding the perimeter. Steph Curry would cook him on switches, but Shaq would laugh and say, "That's cute. Now watch me dunk your entire roster." Steph Curry in the 1980s. Steph Curry is the most era-defining player of the last decade. He turned the three-pointer from a tool into a weapon of mass destruction. But if you dropped him in the 80s, coaches would bench him. Back then, three-pointers were seen as desperation heaves. Teams averaged maybe 2 or 3 a game. Stop shooting bad shots. But once they saw the results, Steph wouldn't just change the game. He'd accelerate it by 30 years. Here's the fun part. Curry would make legends like Magic and Bird rethink their own shots. The 80s would look like the 2000s 10s overnight. He wouldn't just fit in. He'd cause a basketball time paradox. Michael Jordan in 2025. Finally, Michael Jordan, the GOAT. 6 rings, 6 finals MVPs, undefeated on the biggest stage. But what if he played today? First off, Jordan in the social media era would break the internet. Every dunk goes viral. Every flu game becomes trending discourse about whether it's actually the flu or tequila. Every missed game winner instantly turned into a meme. But on the court, oh, he'd be even scarier. With today's spacing, Jordan wouldn't be running into 3 defenders every drive. He'd have a clear lane to dunk every time. He averaged 37 in the 80s with hand checking. In 2025, with no hand checking, he's dropping 45 a night minimum. The only thing that changes? Instead of selling sneakers, he's selling NFT Jordans and breaking StockX every release. So yeah, the NBA is more than talent. It's about timing. Wilt's mystery wouldn't survive Twitter. Russell would be underrated in today's box score culture. Iverson would own TikTok. Shaq would terrorize small ball centers. Curry would cause a time paradox. And Jordan would still be Jordan. The GOAT in any timeline. The real question is, which legend do you wish you could time travel into today's game?